Here's the brief news from the world over this week. A new United Nations report has revealed the magnitude of growing ISIS violence and the refugee crisis in Iraq. According to the report, since 2014, more than 3 million people have been internally displaced, including more than 1 million children. Another 3,500, mainly women and children, have been enslaved, particularly in sexual slavery. According to the UN, ISIS continues to commit acts of staggering and systematic violence that amount to war crimes, crimes against humanity, and possibly genocide. Additionally, AIDS groups are facing massive challenges in helping some 1.5 million civilians in the northern city of Mosul, which remains under the control of the Islamic State. And in a separate related report, Open Doors UK and Ireland indicate that the number of Christian martyrs worldwide has more than tripled in recent years. The advocacy group reports that there were more than 7,000 Christians murdered for their faith in 2015. That's up from 2,100 in 2013. And Islamic State militants have destroyed the oldest Christian monastery in Iraq. Satellite images obtained by the Associated Press confirm that St. Elijah's Monastery in northern Iraq was probably flattened by ISIS in late 2014. Assyrian monks built St. Elijah's in the 6th century, where it had stood for over 1,400 years. Father Paul Habib of Mosul warns that Christian history in the region is being barbarically leveled and that ISIS is trying to expel all Christians from Iraq. This is not the first time St. Elijah's was assaulted. In 1743, the monastery was invaded by the Persian army, who attempted to force the monks to convert to Islam. At least 150 were martyred when they refused. Here in the United States, the Hillary Clinton email controversy has again escalated. The Inspector General for Government Intelligence is reporting that at least several dozen emails sent and received by the former Secretary of State did contain classified information. Some were marked top secret special access programs and even higher level of restricted information. The Clinton camp dismissed the report as a leak by the Inspector General and Republican senators intent on derailing her presidential campaign. The Clinton camp is having trouble regardless. A CNN poll of likely New Hampshire voters shows Socialist Senator Bernie Sanders up by 27 points over Clinton in the upcoming Democratic primary there. And the Iowa caucuses got really interesting for Republicans this week. Donald Trump received the endorsement of former VP nominee and folksy Tea Party favorite Sarah Palin. To reform-minded conservatives and some evangelicals, this could be a game-changing endorsement. At a packed campaign rally in Iowa on Tuesday, Palin ripped the Washington establishment and said Trump was the man to bring it down.
No one but we, the people. How refreshing. He is perfectly positioned to let you make America great again. Are you ready for that, Iowa?
The Palin endorsement was a bit of a surprise to Trump's main competitor in Iowa, Ted Cruz. Palin was instrumental in Cruz's insurgent victory in the 2012 Texas U.S. Senate race. Then, on the same day, Cruz also took a hit from Iowa's longtime Republican Governor Terry Branstad. He told caucus goers it would be a mistake to vote for Cruz, citing his stand on ethanol. Cruz has been a critic of the federal requirement that the corn-based fuel be added to gasoline. In 2013, he proposed a bill to end the federal mandate, along with other federal subsidies. And conservative magazine National Review is officially coming out against Donald Trump's candidacy in a special edition that hit shelves Friday. National Review features a withering editorial branding Trump as a threat to the conservative movement. It also contains 22 pieces by influential conservative thinkers denouncing the Trump candidacy. National Review editor Rich Lowry lobbied fellow conservatives to contribute. The edition includes Bill Kristol of the Weekly Standard and political blogger Eric Erickson. And the Supreme Court announced Tuesday it would review President Barack Obama's executive actions on immigration. Implemented more than a year ago, the new rules would allow 4.3 million undocumented immigrants to apply for programs that could make them eligible for work authorization and associated benefits. Federal courts blocked implementation in response to a challenge brought by Texas and 25 other states. And at the Vatican, a little controversy. The Vatican spokesman, Father Federico Lombardi, is denying continued reports that Pope Francis became publicly outraged over a letter from 13 cardinals who were critical of the synod process last October. The website 1 Peter 5 reported this week that an anonymous Roman priest confirmed multiple accounts of Pope Francis lashing out in the dining hall at the Casa Santa Marta, where he lives. The alleged eyewitnesses said the Pope screamed, quote, "Full power has been given to me. I run the show here. Who do these cardinals think they are? I will remove their red hats," end quote. Father Lombardi told the National Catholic Register's Edward Penton via email that the story was, quote, "ridiculous. Who can believe such nonsense? Who can waste time writing about this nonsense, and why?" And finally, after violating some liturgical norms himself, Pope Francis officially changed them this week. Specifically, the liturgical norms for Holy Thursday. The Holy Father decreed that the practice of a priest washing the feet of men exclusively is out. The norm was explicit in the Roman Missal, hearkening back to the Bible, where Christ himself washes the feet of his exclusively male apostles. Holy Thursday has also long commemorated the institution of the exclusively male Catholic priesthood. The Holy Father appears now to be taking a different approach. In a letter, he explains that the inclusion of women in the Holy Thursday liturgy is an attempt to, quote, "express the full meaning of the gesture performed by Jesus at the Last Supper, namely, his gift of himself to the end for the salvation of the world." Pope Francis has for some time been disregarding that particular Holy Thursday Roman Missal rubric. In his own services since becoming Pope, he's washed the feet of women, Muslims, and one self-identified transgendered Catholic. Going forward, Pope Francis has instituted, or rather instructed, pastors to choose participants for the rite from among all the members of the people of God. A few canonists we spoke with today believe that that would limit the rite to the baptized. We shall see.